Hello there, I'm Anita and you're tuned in to Nightline. The top stories. Former Perlis MB Datuk Sri Azlan Man to be charged by MACC on Monday. And Kedah BNPH set up Unity Leadership Council to prepare for state polls. Our headlining story. Former Perlis Menteri Besar Datuk Sri Azlan Man is expected to be charged by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, at the Sessions Court in Kanga, Perlis on Monday morning. He's expected to be charged under Section 18 of the MACC Act, which governs the offence of filing false claims. The MACC had sent a notice to the media about an upcoming charge against a former Menteri Besar on Monday. According to the notice, the former Menteri Besar will appear at the Kanga Sessions Court at 8:30 a.m. The notice did not specify who the Menteri Besar was. However, sources speaking to TV3 have said that the individual in question was Datuk Sri Azlan. 65-year-old Datuk Sri Azlan had served as the Perlis Menteri Besar from 2013 to 2022, having been the former Pauh Assemblyman between 2013 and 2018, and former Bintong Assemblyman from 2018 to 2022. He, however, failed to defend his seat in the 15th general election. Barisan Nasional BN and Pakatan Harapan PH have agreed to establish the Kedah Unity Leadership Council as a platform to prepare for the state election this year. BN and PH have also agreed to set up 4 committees under the council, namely the Seats Consultation Committee, Election Committee, Strategic Communications Committee and the Manifesto Committee. Datuk Sri Mazir Khalid as the Kedah BN Chairman and Datuk Mahfuz Omar as the State PH Chairman will jointly head the council. Speaking during a media conference after chairing a BN PH meeting at Bangunan Tunku in Alostar, Kedah on Sunday, Datuk Sri Mazir said each committee will be jointly chaired by leaders and members from both parties. It is believed that this new dimension of cooperation between BN and PH will be able to garner the support of voters in the state polls, which is expected to be held in July, despite recent statements made by Kedah Menteri Besar, who is also Kedah Perikatan Nasional PN Chairman, Datuk Sri Muhammad Sanusi Matnor, that PN is confident of winning 33 out of 36 state legislative assembly seats in the upcoming state election.
Yalah, kita pun bukan batang pisang kan.
Nama tu sensitif dah.
kita pun ada kita punya perkiraan, kita punya optik, tactical strategi macam mana nak pergi mana satu kawasan yang dipanggil jumlah Melayu, undi Melayu yang lebih, ada yang bukan Melayu, semua ni ada dalam perkiraan. Jadi data tu ada, saya ingat boleh buat calculation based on that.
Datuk Mahfuz, in the meantime, has rejected the notion that UMNO and BN are difficult to deal with.
Jadi kami hari ini tak ada masalah pun. Saya mula bertemu dengan Datuk Mazir dan kita cadang tentang asas-asas perbincangan kita hari ini. Sebelum ni kita dah buat perjumpaan di rumah dia. Hari ini kita jumpa tak ada apa. Alhamdulillah, dan insya-Allah akan disusuli dengan puluhan kursi. Saya ingat selepas convention ni kita boleh buat sasaran berapa puluh kursi yang akan kita menang di negeri Kedah, insya-Allah.
BN and PH leaders have also agreed to hold a roundtable discussion on April 17th, aimed at strengthening cooperation and unity to face the state election. In other news, the combination of the new Sabah UMNO leadership, including Datuk Sri Bong Mokhtar Radin and Datuk Sri Abdul Rahman Dahlan, will be the driving force towards strengthening Barisan Nasional and UMNO in Sabah. This was due to their extensive experience at the state and national levels.
Sebenarnya Datuk Rahman ni nama jawatan baru, tapi dia sudah lama dalam parti. Dan saya cukup yakin kombinasi antara saya dengan dia akan memberi pemangkin yang lebih baik. Sebab kami dua ini berpengalaman di negeri, berpengalaman di peringkat nasional.
Saya secara pribadi tidak ada masalah dengan kepimpinan yang ada di atas ini, dan saya melihat untuk maju ke depan kita perlu semua kekuatan daripada semua pihak. Datuk Bong adalah seorang pemimpin yang sudah lama.
Previously, UMNO President Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said the two Sabah UMNO leaders need to create harmony in the new Sabah UMNO leadership. He said compatibility must be established so that the party can balance and provide new optics and narratives in order to develop Sabah and to create a stable political situation in the state. At the same time, special emphasis should be given towards two departments in particular, namely the election department and the social media department, which looks to require a massive overhaul so that the party does not fall behind. The Malaysian Trades Union Congress, MTUC, has called on the government to immediately introduce a social protection scheme for non-occupational accidents to better safeguard the interests of workers. MTUC said the scheme should not be tied to employees' wages or occupation and ensure the workers receive coverage for accidents that occur outside of their working hours or are unrelated to their jobs. MTUC President Muhammad Effendi Abdul Ghani, in a statement, said the implementation of such a scheme has been long overdue. He said the scheme would be an improvement to the existing social protection scheme and would narrow the gap in providing social protection coverage for workers in the country. He said various benefits should be included in the scheme, such as medical, temporary and permanent disability assistance and access to physiotherapy facilities. Muhammad Effendi cited New Zealand, the US and Canada as examples of countries that have implemented similar schemes. At present, the Social Security Organisation, SOCSO, offers a workplace disaster scheme that covers accidents at the workplace and en route, as well as for employees who suffer illness or rendered permanently disabled as a result of their work. The Human Resources Ministry has clarified that it has never held any discussion on the Foreign Employee Recruitment and Human Resource Management System, SPDRM, with any party. The ministry also made clear that a statement that said that the ministry was giving its full support to SPDRM was false. In a statement, the Human Resources Ministry said it hopes that the explanation will answer any questions or confusion among employers or the industries, especially the diplomatic representation of the source countries in Malaysia regarding SPDRM. The explanation issued by the ministry was referring to a media report on Saturday, which among others said that the SPDRM would be able to address the issue of human trafficking as well as expedite the entry of foreign workers into the country. The report also said that the SPDRM had fulfilled the recruitment of foreign workers regulations, including the conditions set by this country and source nations. Immigration officers in the Klang Valley that are facing long queues daily will go fully online under a pilot project that will be implemented soon. Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said the initiative was aimed at reducing congestion and waiting time.
Tapi sekarang ini kita mula fikirkan bahawa ada beberapa pejabat pengeluar pasport yang tertentu kita akan umumkan permohonan hanya melalui atas talian sahaja. Okey. Dan pejabat pengeluar pasport ini akan menjadi tempat untuk dia collect saja setelah dia mohon secara atas talian. Yang kita benarkan walk in adalah warga emas, OKU, kanak-kanak yang di bawah jagaan.
Datuk Seri Saifuddin said the pilot project is currently being fine-tuned and will be implemented when all the details have been worked out. He said there were 77 passport issuing officers nationwide, and out of these, 21 officers experienced severe congestion. As a result, the Immigration Department was forced to extend working hours and even open on Saturdays and Sundays to ease the congestion. Datuk Seri Saifuddin said another strategy to cope with the pressing demand for passports is the upgrading of printers at the immigration offices. The current daily printing run is up to 500 copies, and the ministry has purchased new high-capacity printers, which can go up to 1,000 copies daily. A total of 2.971 million vehicle owners have downloaded and registered through the MyJPJ application since it was introduced on February 10th. Road Transport Department RTD Director General Datuk Zailani Hashim said RTD's efforts in promoting the application among vehicle owners to facilitate their affairs was going well. Datuk Zailani said, at the moment, members of the public are urged to familiarise themselves with the MyJPJ digital app, adding that the application will be upgraded to show and renew their licence by the middle of this year. He said the Smart Management Enforcement Device, SMED, will be used for those who have issues with internet coverage or those who do not own a telephone. For drivers who have problems displaying their driving licence and digital road tax, the SMED will be used by registering their identity to access licences and road tax digitally.
Saya di sini menyeru kepada seluruh masyarakat supaya download apps JPJ ini untuk memudahkan segala urusan, dan kita akan giatkan usaha mempromosikan.
In another development, Datuk Zailani also advised road users to plan their balik kampung trips, especially those returning to Kelantan, where congestion is expected to occur in Gua Musang due to a road closure to make way for construction works for the Lingkaran Tengah Utama Expressway. The Seindah Kasih ex-Jom Runda squad continues its tour to the southern region to assist those in need during Ramadan. Among the activities carried out include sharing fire safety knowledge and providing assistance to single mothers and orphans in Negeri Sembilan, Melaka and Johor. Through meaningful engagement in the Seindah Kasih ex-Jom Runda tour program, the fire and rescue team, together with their leaders, conveyed information on fire safety and prevention at Pondok Darul Muttaqin, Paya Rumput, Melaka. The Seindah Kasih squad also joined hands to clean the Pondok area, as well as provide contributions, including sleeping equipment, food supplies and school equipment. A special appearance was made by the Agent Ali mascot, who hopes to bring joy to the residents and the toughest students. The tour then continued to assist the residents of the Shafa Orphanage Home in Kampung Pasir, Johor Bahru,
di mana kami telah mengedarkan iftar peks untuk orang ramai, dan seterusnya kami juga telah turun padang untuk membantu orang-orang yang memerlukan, seperti membersihkan masjid, selain daripada itu membersihkan kawasan-kawasan di rumah-rumah anak yatim dan juga sebagainya lah. Dan alhamdulillah, selain daripada artis-artis dan juga talent yang datang membantu, kru juga datang membantu dan mendekati masyarakat di negeri selatan ni.
Before ending this week's tour, the Seindah Kasih squad visited Batu Pahat to assist 30 single mothers at the Masjid Jami' Sabak Uni Parit Raja. The program started as early as 10 a.m. and was packed with activities such as weaving ketupat, cooking bubur lambuk and side dishes for breaking a fast, as well as cleaning the cemetery grounds and distribution of contributions. In today's world, where gender equality is becoming more and more prevalent, it is surprising to see certain professions still being predominantly associated with one gender. Carpentry is one such career where men have traditionally been the dominant force. However, Malaysia's first women's woodworking workshop aims to break the stereotype, as well as encourage women to take on traditionally male-dominated fields. Hakim Azman has the details.
The lack of women in carpentry is due to the misconception that it is a physically demanding job that requires a lot of heavy lifting. The workshop founder, Aida Isani, however, said with the availability of modern tools and equipment, woodworking has become a lot easier.
So I want to empower women to be able to be comfortable using power tools because they are able to use. It's just they have, maybe they feel apprehensive, because there's no way that they can try it out at home. So, well, me as a woman, if I can do it, any other woman can do it too.
While it may take time to break the gender stereotype associated with carpentry, Aida believes women have just as much potential as men in the field, as her workshop provides various lessons on woodworking, ranging from simple to advanced techniques. This could help women to hone their skills and build confidence in their abilities. She also believes that her students, especially the female participants, can use their newly acquired woodworking skills to start their own business or create custom furniture for their homes.
Making it into a business, there's so much more to it. You're managing a business, quality control, dealing with customers. So, yes, it's a good opportunity to make it a business, but there are all these things that you have to be ready for. But as for woodworking, yes, there is a lot of potential for it to be to earn an income.
Not only for generating income, woodworking can also teach the participants important life lessons that can be applied in their daily lives, such as critical thinking and problem solving. As for the participants, they are inspired to learn for a variety of reasons, such as the desire to create something with their hands, to express their creativity, or to learn a new skill.
It's nice when I see that I could, manage the machine. But while I'm doing it, obviously I was very, very nervous because the size of the machines, or the tools itself.
Women, is good to be independent. So, for example, when I have certain furniture down, I know the right tools to use and how to use it instead of depending on my husband. So it's really about equipping yourself with skills so that you can be independent.
The participants also believe that woodworking can create stronger bonds with family members or friends, as they can learn to communicate effectively and support each other. While carpentry may not have the same income potential as most professional jobs, it can also be a highly rewarding trade for those who like to use their hands to repair and create things with wood. Woodworking can also be a fulfilling career for those who are passionate about it and willing to put in effort and time to develop their skills. Hakim Azman, TV3.
We're going for a short break now. When we return, China enters second day of military drills encircling Taiwan. Don't go away. Continues with news on the foreign front. Chinese fighter jets and warships simulated strikes on Taiwan Sunday as they encircled the island during a second straight day of military drills that were launched in response to its president meeting the U.S. House Speaker. Taiwan's Defense Ministry said on Sunday they had spotted 70 Chinese aircraft, including Su-30 fighters and H-6 bombers, as well as 11 ships around Taiwan. The ministry added that they were paying particular attention to the People's Liberation Army's rocket force, which is in charge of China's land-based missile system. The Chinese state television, meanwhile, reported that the combat readiness patrols and drills around Taiwan were continuing. China, which claims democratically governed Taiwan as its own territory, began 3 days of military exercises around the island on Saturday, the day after Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen returned from a brief visit to the United States. Over in the Philippines, 7 people, including a 2-year-old girl and a 12-year-old boy, were killed late Saturday night after a fire swept a residential community in Rizal Province, east of Metro Manila. According to authorities, the fire broke out before 10 p.m. local time in Taytay town, engulfing over 40 houses before it was declared under control more than an hour later. Police said the victims were trapped in their houses at the end of the street and the bodies were found on the kitchen floor as well as inside the bathroom. The blaze had also left more than 60 families homeless. In other news, French rescue services were searching for victims after an explosion caused 2 residential buildings to collapse in the centre of Marseille in the early hours of Sunday. French Interior Minister Gérald Darmanin said that the collapse had caused a fire that could take hours to put out, in which it could complicate rescue efforts. He added that authorities estimated there were between 4 and 10 people under the rubble. In the meantime, 5 people were taken to hospital with serious but not life-threatening injuries. A third building is partially collapsed and people have been evacuated from some 30 buildings in the area. The cause of the explosion is not known yet. Goals saw PSV Eindhoven ease past Excelsior 4-0 on Saturday in the latest action from the Dutch Eredivisie. Luc de Jong had put the hosts ahead in the 12th minute, clipping home from close range. But they didn't extend their lead until 12 minutes from time. A diving header from Xavier Sermons made it 2-0 before Fabio Silva scored the third. Eric Gutierrez completed the scoring 3 minutes from time after a well-taken corner. The result ensures that PSV remains second in the table, 5 points off leaders Feyenoord, while Excelsior sits 16th. In Germany's Bundesliga, Matthijs de Ligt scored the only goal of the game as league leaders Bayern Munich avenged their DFB Pokal quarter-final loss to SC Freiburg with a hard-fought 1-0 victory over the same opponents at the Europa Park Stadium on Saturday. Thomas Tuchel's Bayern are 2 points ahead of second-placed Borussia Dortmund with 7 league matches of the season remaining. Coming up after this break, a couple nabbed for suspected rape of stepdaughter. Stay tuned. Melaka, a security guard was remanded for a week over a rape case involving his stepdaughter, who fled home for the past 3 years due to trauma. His wife was also remanded to assist in the investigation on charges of conspiring to conceal the suspect's actions towards her biological child. The remand order against the married couple was issued by Senior Assistant Registrar Siti Nur Ain Arifin at the Ayakuruh Court Complex. Jasin District Police Chief DSP Ahmad Jamil Razi said the 16-year-old victim lodged a report over the case on April 6th. Acting on police information, the suspects, aged 36 and 40 respectively, were then arrested at Kuala Lumpur International Airport Terminal 2 on Saturday after arriving from Sabah. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for incestuous sexual intercourse and abetting such an act. Earlier, the media reported that a teenage girl went missing for more than 2 weeks from her home in Jasin, but was found safe in Perak last Wednesday. The Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Ministry, KPDN, seized 26,000 litres of subsidised diesel worth 55,900 ringgit through raids conducted under Ops Tiris on a wholesaler's premises in Padang Besar, Perlis on Saturday. Perlis KPDN Chief Enforcement Officer Farah Adlina Rupai said the wholesaler was suspected of selling diesel to the neighbouring country after it was found that he had not updated the stock book for about a month, stressing that it must be updated every time diesel wholesalers receive their supplies.
Dia tak update buku stok di bawah peraturan 13 dan juga peraturan 11 iaitu daripada sumber yang meragukan. Maknanya dia beli daripada sumber yang meragukan. Iaitu daripada
sumber yang tak boleh lesen apa semua.
Sumber dia boleh lesen tapi tak boleh beli daripada pemborong tu juga. Dia kena beli directly daripada Olco.
Farah Adlina added that the wholesaler was suspected of being involved in the misappropriation of diesel for the last 12 months, and investigations found that the oil supply was believed to have been obtained from a wholesaler in Bukit Kayu Hitam, Kedah. She also noted that KPDN had recorded the statement of the premises owner, a man in his 40s, for further action. As we wrap up Nightline this time around, we take a look as the Al-Madaniyah Mosque in USJ 18 Subang Jaya fetes orphans and the poor in light of Ramadan. With that, I'm Anita. Thank you for watching, and to our Muslim viewers, Selamat Bersahur. Be well.